the residents said it will be difficult for them to leave because they do not know where exactly they will be going to get an abode from here. So here I've seen people who are packing their little stuffs that are left from the things they had before the demolition. Others I've seen also are trying to put up a makeshift kiosk. I don't know what it is, but if you can follow me and if you're watching, all that you're seeing here are debris from the demolition that happened this morning. People are trying to gather the little they can salvage from the demolition exercise that occurred here this morning. Let me try and find out from some of the people who were here about the thought of not living here because it will be difficult to find somewhere else to rest. Someone is telling me that this is where they plan to sleep tonight, in the open space. Whether they will be bitten by mosquitoes or not, they have nowhere to go, and this is where they'll be sleeping. Well, I have some of the residents here. Let's try and engage them to find out what's the next steps. Chief, let's say na yebubu dine area modaso ha mo ye den sisia
because any scarce say any baby so ebeko so ade no na ade na ba be ye ntino ye be choko ansa ye nya baby a na ye ko ye nya baby a ye ntibi any baby a ebeko sisia because ye kitankola na go da no so aye senke krofa so mo consider kakra because ye sinkrofo bi so ye nkwase ade bi wa ha ni de ni nyoma bi ekoso but enye ye nyina se ba ka ya ha kwanka ye ju esrofo na ye a omo ha adwen ena o maka na ba be kan ye
esrofo na omo ye hwan mo
esro mo
ebi wo baby foforo
se tresa ha no sun ntene na akokosto sa problem na abama ye da be judure ya ye wa hanka ya ye wa hade hanka ye ni problem ha ju kono bibia nkoso wa ha obi ati ni baby din obi akwadwuma ba wa be hye ho because say no ye na nya na e wo sky timi rent dan ti abe kiosk kakra ye tare ye madam for ekire na so ye adwuma kakra na nya bibi kakra di ana say o ma be sese ha no
enti anadwi mo da say ya o ha
ya da because last time ye da ye oh ye da ye because park ni so ye da they say asema me kache ye park was man so nto no pe so man so nto enti no
na nsa wo se nkoda ka ho
ye won kola anti akipu nkola no ya piku kapi kola ye won kola mi se kwa obi obata on so bi kwa na ebobo bi no so enti yesra abanu on consider because ahanu on be bubu wi a omko obi enu oda ha enti no se bia bibi kwa na on be motuma ye de abo anya e bia mra bi kwa na be di so wa hapo kra pa nke ye pe so because haye
enti na anadwi bibia nkata moso mo da sa
bibia kata yesu na so na ye to aba se tuntu wi na mari da chimia metima ko jalla so to aba
eno da eno wo ho na moment anadwi oni nkoda ni na beda ha mon bibia nkata
tuma be kata yesu ye tuma be kata yesu ada nti sometimes omunya consideration mayen sometimes they have to get consideration mayen because enye easy masa ene adwuma ni ho before be boaska na hide na enye say dance boy dene so since sanya ma we na nye isana na epe sebi omo wo bi ena e won adwuma no
okay so what he is basically saying is that they have nowhere to go, and this is where they will be sleeping. They will be passing the night. They will be sleeping in the open with their children. According to him, it has happened before, and they slept on the park with their children. They do have children, and this is where they'll be sleeping tonight, in the open with no covering. They are saying that the authorities should have considered the season within which they are because of the rains, and should have waited to when the weather is clear for this demolition to have happened. They are also saying that authorities could have even given them some set of rules to go by, and they would have abided by them because there's nowhere for them to tend to. But interesting, there's someone who's still putting up a kiosk. I'll come back to you, but let me find out from the guy who is molding the kiosk here to understand what's happening. Chief, at saying
Mazam Pacho.
Na ade ye bubu no ene ya na wo san abo foforo de ntia
Mazam Pacho me ne baby am meda ntina me sambo no nti ye de ye ni baby akọ na me ni baby aso a mbe ko ntina me na me yire ne me mba so na ejina ase nti me ni baby ameda
until born be na them because of his, you know.
Yeah, any baby I beda nti ye nu ne ya demu ene na pa ye sorry na de ti adom ne hwe say ye be konya baby a ye benya ada for the meantime ana
nti senior aye wo gidi so betumi awie ma wife no nkoda nkoda sen
no nkoda 3.
wo gidi so betumi awie na omanya baby ada
ompa cho nyame bo awie ne ya dam ne nyame bo achina no ya pe baby.
So he says he will make sure he completes this because he cannot see his wife and the children, 3 children, to sleep in the open without a covering, and so he wants to complete the shelter for them for tonight. Tomorrow morning they would go around looking for a different place to lodge. Let me try and ask his wife. Chief, mama na saying
Embache yo.
Ukuno bobadi what did they say between we?
Nyame wo ho. So obi nim say nyame wo, nyame ni ho a ye de ye gidi say nyame wo ho. Ye den a ye benya baby ada.
Na after ochina no meden.
After ochina na ya hwede ye nyame de ye besan beye.
Na mo nya baby fo from be ne den.
Nya baby a ye bekọ ye nya baby fo so a ye besan manage ni sa.
Na o fehin.
Ye free ball ga na vrongo.
What na for bosum be saying?
Ya tuna ha be ya bosum ni de mba ha nche.
All right. So
ya obi mu be ye say a mu be bukura na mu ye say kura pombo bi ya ni baby ya nti ya ye de ye nim say nyame na be boa ye nti ye den kura ye be manage na ya da
na eba
na de ya cha na ya hwe baby ya nyame de ya befa
eba say nkoda mo didi ye
na bi ni di ya no fita no pa na ye den didi ye ja kura ya nso
San koda de so mun didi na pa de serious.
Yes ye kura mpo ya dad sen ya duane na esisi ya ntumi ndu ya ye ma die we kura mpo ama na drink kura mpo wonnom
amsa kura ni nyanka adwuma me ye obeye bi
nyame wo.
Anyway, so she is saying that yes, they believe that they will be able to complete this temporal shelter for the family so that tomorrow morning they would see where else life will lead them. But she again tells me that since morning when this demolition exercise happened, they and the kids have not eaten. It's difficult, but we are still here. I'm told this place is the bridge area in Bawaleshie. Let's try and run you through how the whole place is. So you see debris all around from the structures that were pulled down this morning here. If you're seeing on your screens now, wood, you can find mattresses, plywood, boxes, iron sheets, some of them not too many, but you see a lot of plywood, a lot of wood here. I see one woman who has set up like a spot, so there are drinks, and then I think this is an Indomie joint, huh? So she has some drinks here, as well as things to prepare Indomie for the people who are here. This is it. Mommy had to say,
your daddy.
What's na bosom be saying? And I'm fe be saying.
Pacho 2 years ni.
2 years.
Pacho last year sa na yum be bubu ye tena sa because ni eni baby akọ. Ti ye tena sa enenen so o ma se be bubu ye. Ni e da so tim.
Enti no mo be sa atena mu sa sisi mo dan no.
Debi. Ye ni baby akọ e na ye ni scan so. Ye mpan ketinkiti na ye di na ene ye di boaboa ye ho ne ye ma ti ye ni baby akọ ye nga
so
papa ye ni baby akọ kwa na baby on be go school crapo papa be come ya me papa na se papa wi ye ni baby aye be ko papa ifa na me be ko eja ifa me be ko papa me ni baby am de be ko papa haya na miniska me be kwa rent time eja mbuaye wase papa ye mbuaye wase mbuaye
onkoda no wo say
Pachaman was 6.
6. Omwina wa ha.
Pachay.
Omko school.
Pachay. Amko school Bawaleshie.
Enti sisi abane say de na mbe.
Da say de ya ne say mombuaye. Mbuaye na pe. Na baby aye di nkola no e betso.
Enti anadwumbe den.
Anadwo baby aye beda no krampo na ya say nso krampo na emu akrapo. Ye ni baby aye de here de beda. Papa, yes.
And that's a passionate appeal from one of the squatters there affected by today's demolition, asking government to come to their aid. Let's go onto the phone lines now and get a reaction of GRICo to this. We are joined by one of the managers at GRICo. He is on Zoom, Engineer Bernard Jan. Mr. Jan, I'm grateful for your time here on Joy News Prime. Let's start from the immediate report we're getting from my colleague Kojo Brace on the ground. We are seeing that the people are again putting up some of the structures. This happened last year. They stayed on. It's happened today. They have vowed not to move, and we are seeing the reconstruction there. Your reaction to that?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Good evening to your viewers and listeners as well. This is a problem that we have on our hands as an organization, GRICo, and like you said rightly, we have done this before, and this is not new. But the difference is that this time around, we are going to sustain the effort.
How do you intend to do that when the reconstruction has already started?
Yes, so we are doing 3 things together. The first one is that we will continue to engage and educate, improve on education, and make sure that people actually understand the dangers in living within the right of way. We have also set up a task force to increase the policing around these areas to make sure that we are visible, and also make sure that we don't allow for new structures to be erected. And then the third one is that we are going to continue to do the demolition as we have seen today. So all these 3 things are going to be done concurrently. And we are sure that if we are able to sustain this effort, we are going to rid our right of way of this encroachment, and also to help improve public safety and improve power supply reliability together.
When will this task force get to work? Because this is day one. If you have a task force, they should be on ground to ensure that indeed you have a successful exercise where you see all the people off the scene. When will they get to work, seeing that we have nobody on the ground and, reconstruction has started, the people vowing not to leave?
And so, like I told you, the task force is now in place. So we are not going to sleep like in the past. We will come and demolish and go and sleep. We are not. We are going to make sure that we increase policing, like I said earlier. So those who have started the reconstruction or erection of new structures, I would advise that they should put a hold to that, because we are coming back to demolish them.
Give us details of this task force. Is it a police task force, a joint unit? Who exactly constitutes this task force?
It's an internal task force within GRICo, and it's been done together with the district assemblies across the country and key stakeholders who we call partners. So we are engaging them, they are helping us, they are supporting us to be able to sustain this effort.
You mentioned security. Some of the squatters who have spoken to us say you are targeting them deliberately, and that it is not necessarily about the security of your equipment, but indeed the security of the area, that specific enclave has become a den for criminals, so to speak. And so this is why you are carrying out this exercise, and not necessarily to safeguard your equipment.
We are carrying out this exercise for 2 key reasons. The first one is for their own safety, public safety. If we live under the transmission lines, and if you have ever seen a transmission line of this size and nature snap, you will never go near transmission line. It's very, very dangerous. And we don't want anything to befall them. That is number one. Number two, these transmission lines are the ones that are supplying power to Ghanaians and even beyond. We want to have uninterrupted access to this line so that when there's a fault, we can speedily work on the fault and restore power. So it is one of the ways to make sure that our power supply is reliable is to ensure that the right-of-way is rid of squatters and encroachers so that we can have free access to them for maintenance when the need arises. So this is the key, which is why we are doing this.
Another concern, a major one for the squatters today, they say that you did not give them notice, and they think that is not fair. For some of them who say they were willing to leave, they expected that you drew their attention to today's exercise. Why did you not notify them of this demolition exercise?
I'm sorry, but the engagement started in October 2021. We've been engaging all the people involved together with our partners. This engagement has been going on since October 2021, and I am not sure there's anybody down there who says that he has never been engaged. We have engaged them, we have educated them. The education is still ongoing, and we are not even going to stop.
And they knew that you were starting the demolition today?
They knew that we were coming. They knew.
Now, you say you are not going to stop. From Bawaleshie, where next? Where are you going to?
It's a nationwide thing that we are doing. In fact, we are going to review what happened today, and then we are going to take lessons and then continue to deploy this exercise across the country.
Engineer, thank you very much for your time here on Johnny's Prime. That's Engineer Bernard Jan, an electrical engineer with GRICo, responding to today's exercise. And you're seeing on the screens there my colleague Kojo Brace by a baby who is sleeping in the open. Let's go live to the scene.
It knows is the mother is around to provide motherly love. Well, let's try and see. Mommy, let's say, oh, but how many months?
3 months.
3. What now? How many years?
Me aunt now how many years da?
Okay. Bosum saying.
Bosum mienu.
Okay. Who you now buy?
You free away. Kofi Togo yard.
Kofi Togo yard number.
Mbachwan.
Okay. Na ukrom ni ho.
Me krom mi wo aplau.
Aplau. Oh ya den wo ha.
Me ni mi kunu etina ha se. Me kunu ye baba.
Okay.
Me ni ye na etina ha se. Moy tuo wo Kofi Togo yard ne na e ba ha se. Na ye ba na mi wu akran 3 months ni.
Enti nembe den.
Eni baby na ebeda. Eni baby ebeda, eni ska crampo. Eni ska eni baby ebeda anti mi ba na ho na mi sumeda mi ba ni che ho no mu.
Eh. Ahe na obeda oba ni che wa ha. Eh. Na se ntonton be we ododo.
Se tutu ye, tutu bibia mi niam nso mo tutu bibia. Enti aha se na meda mi ba ni che.
So she's saying that they were moved from one area where they were squatting to this place. She lives here with her husband. Her husband is a barber. She's lived here for around 2 months. It should be more than 3 months because also 3 months. So I mean a little over 3 months because this baby, according to her, was delivered in this place. And now that this has happened, this is where she'll be spending the night with a baby because they have nothing, no money for them to look for anywhere else to sleep. So tonight, all that they'll be doing is to sleep beside this little baby who is still smiling to me. Well,
a lactating mother, 3-month-old baby, and many others will be sleeping rough at Bawaleshie tonight. The plight of the squatters there after that GRICo demolition. This is Johnny's Prime with me, Ernest Minwete.